Welcome to the kitchen.
Hi, I'm Shahida, aka Winter, and I like cookies.
I'm Gianna, I'm Fall, and I like cupcakes.
I'm Alexa, I'm Spring, and I like Jell-O. I'm Caitlin, I'm Summer, and I like pudding cake.
Today we're going to be demonstrating how to make seasonal desserts, and we're going to kick it off with Gianna.
Good morning. Today I'll be demonstrating on how to create a festive fall dessert. By show of hands, how many of you think of pumpkin when you think of the fall season? Okay, no. Get that out of your head because I'm not making anything pumpkin spice because it's out of date. I'm going to be making applesauce spice cupcakes, and to do so you're going to need 2 cups of flour, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, a stick of butter, but it has to be room temperature, as well as a cup of sugar, brown sugar, eggs, and applesauce and icing of your choosing. I got this recipe from Martha Stewart's Cupcakes Cookbook, and I'm going to break it down for you so it's going to be really easy because the chances are if Martha Stewart can do it, then you can't. So the first thing you have to do is preheat your oven to 350. After that, you have to gather all your ingredients and have 2 separate bowls, one for dry ingredients and then one for wet. So as you have 2 bowls, in one bowl you're going to mix all your dry ingredients, which would be the 2 cups of flour, which I already put 1 cup in, so I'm just adding the 2nd cup. Also a teaspoon of baking soda. Also 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay. As well as 1/2 teaspoons of nutmeg, which nutmeg is like the weirdest ingredient ever. I couldn't find it, so I have like this little bag that I found in the shop, right? Okay, it just spilled all over the table. Sorry, Caitlin, Mom. Okay, and that's it for your dry ingredients. The next bowl you're going to use is for your wet ingredients. So for this part, you're going to use your 2nd bowl, and in there put your room temperature butter, as well as both sugars, brown and granulated white. So right now we have 1/2 cup of sugar in there, but you need at least 1 cup, so I'm putting the other half in there. And you need 1/2 cup of brown sugar, which is literally a block. But really easy to measure because it compacts, so. I feel so official right now. I feel like Rachel Ray. Like her ugly stepsister. And then you're going to put the other half, okay, of brown sugar in there. And also for this part, you're going to need an electric mixer. And then you're going to have to beat all these ingredients in until it's fluffy, like the texture is fluffy. Okay, now in the same bowl that you mix the sugars and the butter in, you're going to crack 4 large eggs into the bowl. And then mix at a low rate. Yes. Slowly mix the eggs and the sugar and the butter. And then while you do that, you're going to slowly sift the dry ingredients that you had earlier. Okay, we're going to start now. I forgot to mix this. Okay, after you're finished mixing all the flour into the sugar and butter and egg concoction, you're going to add 1.5 cups of applesauce. You can make it sweet applesauce, natural applesauce, or cinnamon applesauce, any kind of applesauce you want. I went with regular applesauce, like the original. Then you're just going to go at a low speed and mix that in. Okay, so now that your batter is fully mixed, all your ingredients are put together, you're going to take a spoon or a measuring cup of any kind of sort and take a ladle full of it and put it into a cupcake wrapper in your cupcake sheet and fill it about 3/4 of the way up. And just repeat this process until every cupcake batter sheet is filled. And if you fill them all and there's still batter left over, that just means you have enough batter for another batch, so lucky you. So now what you're going to do after they're all filled, you're going to put them in the oven for 20 minutes at 350. So once your cupcakes have cooled, you can put them into a tin or on a plate or just on the table around you, and you can take an icing of your choosing. I picked Rich and Creamy Betty Crocker's cream cheese vanilla frosting, icing, frosting. And it's also helpful if you have a spatula. It makes it a lot easier rather than using a spoon or even a knife. And just take a decent amount. Some people like less icing, some people like a lot. I personally like a lot of icing on my cupcakes. I think it makes the whole thing. So you just put it on and move it on in a circular motion, getting all the edges so that no part of the cupcake is showing. And once it's finished, it's going to look something like this. Nice. And then you're just going to repeat the process. And if you want to add like a little flavor and a little spice to it, you can take some brown sugar and just sprinkle it on top of some of the cupcakes, just to add a little extra spice and everything nice. So thank you guys for watching my demonstration on how to make applesauce spiced cupcakes. Shahida should be here in about...
Oh wow, it smells like fall in here. Gianna, you did a good job.
Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be making for you a whimsical winter treat, meringue cookies. Now, many of you are probably asking, what the heck is that? Take a few guesses, please. All good, all good. But meringue is basically egg whites that I have here, room temperature, cream of tartar, something else that I'll show you later, and extra fine sugar. Not granulated sugar, not powdered sugar, extra fine, because I'm extra fine. So first things first, I have my oven preheated to 200 degrees, because we'll need that later, obviously. And I'm gonna beat my egg whites. Now, I took my egg whites beforehand, and while they were chilled, I separated the yolk from the egg whites. And now that it's room temperature, I'm gonna be able to use them. Room temperature just makes it easier to whip, and it'll get foamy quicker. Caitlin's princess bowl is pretty cute too. So you're gonna beat that at low. But if your mixer is different, it's gonna be 1 or 2. So you're gonna beat your eggs until they look pretty foamy like that. See? Now we're going to add the cream of tartar. The recipe calls for 1/4 of a tablespoon, but I only have 1/8 of a tablespoon. So we're just going to do 2 of these. Add that in there. And you can find cream of tartar anywhere. Like Chopper I only carried 2, but I found it real easy. And then you're going to continue to beat your egg whites. What you're looking for in your little froth is soft white peaks. And you see we got that right there? And if you don't have it, just keep beating until you find them, okay? Next, the recipe calls for 3/4 cup of sugar. Oh no, this is the 4th cup. Never mind. So we go and make sure your sugar is extra fine. You got to be beating your eggs at medium-high speed while you're doing this. So you're going to be adding it in a little bit at a time. So as you can see, it's starting to get stiff, and I'm just going to like scrape this off because you want all the sugar to get dissolved. Imagine what that is. Dissolved in it. And can you imagine this just started as egg whites and sugar. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I know I'm not done because if you take it, and I swear my hands are washed, between your fingers and you rub it a little, if you can still feel the grittiness, that means you're not done. It should still be, it should be smooth, like completely smooth. So I'm going to beat this for a little more. We're not done whipping yet. I have to add a little bit, 1/4 of a teaspoon of peppermint extract. And that's like the whole, ooh, wow, there it went. Caitlin's table's gonna smell like peppermint for like a good 2 weeks. Given that she doesn't wash her tablecloth. And then that's what adds like the wintry theme to this whole dessert. And then we're just gonna whip it until that's incorporated. Most people like to use piping bags when doing this recipe, but I just like to use 2 spoons, plop it on down, and swirl it. And if any of you were wondering, just in case you want to make this gooey concoction later, I got this recipe from joyofbaking.com. And oh my gosh, my meringue almost fell. And don't I look like an expert doing this? Like with no piping bag, just 2 spoons? Even though this is the first time I've just made this. This is the first thing I've actually made from scratch, like in regards to baking, so I think I'm doing a good job.
But you said that the recipe makes 10 cookies and there's so many more 10 than 10.
Here are my cookies! Now, if you remember from the beginning of the video, I had the oven preheated to 200 degrees. Here are my meringue cookies. Oh, that one's so ugly. Now we're going to pop these in here, and this is going to sound like a scary number, but it's going to be in there for 1.5 hours. And you're going to bake them until they're light and crispy, and you know when they're done when they just pop off the parchment paper. This is the perfect snack to just cuddle up with while you're watching a movie on that cold night. And just to move away from that, Alexa and Caitlin are going to be doing their spring and summer desserts. No more cold nights.
Well, good morning, everyone. Today I'll be showing you how to make a super simple spring treat, and these are called fruited chiffon squares. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 packs of any Jell-O that you would like. I particularly like strawberry. You can use peach, strawberry, blueberry, I think they have. Anything what you like. I particularly like strawberry. So what you're going to do is you're going to have 2 cups, 2 packages, and that's what I'm going to put in the bowl first. Just going to pour it right in. Open your second one. Once you have that, you're going to need 1.5 cups of boiling water, which is that's cooking right now. So you're just going to keep stirring. You can still feel the little particles in here. Do it until it's completely dissolved. So once you are done fully dissolving the gelatin in the boiling water, you're going to add 2.5 cups of cold water mixed with ice cubes. You're going to completely dissolve that, and you're going to remove any unmelted ice. And you're going to see it's going to start to get thickened. You should have a pretty thick consistency. And just keep stirring. As you can see, it's starting to look a little thick. Just keep stirring. Everything's dissolved, the boiling water, the cold water, and the ice cubes. You're going to take 1 3/4 cups of Cool Whip. So I'm going to do the 1 cup first.
Hey, that looks like my meringue.
It's a lot of Cool Whip. And you want to just like get the air out, so you could just like pat it and then... And you're going to put that in a separate bowl. And And then you're gonna take 3 of 1/4, so 3 of these. And put it in the bowl. You don't have to be exact. I mean, it's gonna get a little messy.
I'll clean it
And one more. Okay, so once you have all your Cool Whip in, you're going to take 1 cup of the gelatin and put it into the Cool Whip pot. Which I have a 1/2 cup, so I'm doing 1/2 cup. And then another one. And then once you're done with that,
Where's all the whipped cream and I need some things.
once you're done with that, you're going to fold the whipped cream into the gelatin. And it takes a while. You just have to keep folding it until you start to get a thick consistency. Okay, so right now I have like a light pink and it's whipped into like a whipped topping, it says. And what you're going to do is you're going to pour it into like an 8-inch pan, that's what I have, and you're just going to pour it in.
Ooh.
And that's the bottom layer. Okay, so once this has chilled for about 10 minutes, you're going to spoon over the leftover gelatin that you have. And it's up to you if you want to add fruit to it. It's optional. So how many of you have ever had Jell-O before? Great, so you'll love this finished product. You can see the bottom layer is the one with the Cool Whip, and that one on top is the gelatin. And in case you're wondering, I got this recipe from, it's a Jell-O book by the Jell-O brand, Fun and Fabulous Recipes, and it's everything about gelatin. And I hope you enjoyed watching.
Thanks, Alexa. So when you guys think of the summer, what do you guys think of? Well, when I think of the summer, I think of the 4th of July. But how many of you are tired of going to 4th of July barbecues and the only desserts that there are chocolate chip cookies, brownies, all the regular stuff? Well, today, using this Crafts magazine, I'm going to teach you how to make a berry bliss shortcake. What you need is a pound cake. You can either buy a whole pound cake or you can buy one already sliced. A box of Jell-O pudding mix. Cool Whip. And any red and blue berries that you want. I have raspberries and blackberries, but you can also add strawberries and blueberries if you choose to. So the first thing you have to do is actually make the pudding. And how you do that is you're going to take the little powder out of the box and put it into a bowl. Then you're going to beat the pudding with 2 cups of cold milk. Then you're going to use a whisk to mix it together. Let it sit for a while it hardens. And then this recipe also calls to mix the Cool Whip with your pudding. So you're going to measure out 1 cup of Cool Whip and then mix it in. And Cool Whip is sticky, so try to get as much out as you can. Then just whisk that all together. Shahina's cookies are done. So once you've mixed the Cool Whip in, you're done making your pudding. So if you bought a pound cake that wasn't already cut, all you need to do is take a knife and slice it into a couple pieces. Or you can buy one that's already pre-cut. So take 1 slice and put it on a plate in front of you. And then if you have your own piping bag, that's really cool. But if you don't, all you need is a little Ziploc bag. And you're going to put the pudding into the Ziploc bag. And you're going to cut a little hole in the corner. And you're going to pipe some of the pudding, kind of like a swirly motion, onto your pound cake. Then, we have red and blue berries, since those are the colors that they chose to make our flag. And you're just going to mix them up on top of your slice. Then take another piece of pound cake
and put it right on top. And you're going to do the same thing. Then you can add more berries. You can make a couple more to bring to the party. Finish off the rest of your pudding. Make sure you get it on the cake though. Finish your berries. And voila! Now you have a treat to bring to your party.
Thank you for watching
The
Kitchen! Today we learned how to make seasonal desserts.
And they're pretty snazzy, I'd say.
Stay tuned next week for our video on how to make healthy snack options for the season.
Bye!